Something I wish more men knew is how many amazing women there are out there. So many men waste their time and fall in love with women who only care about what they have to offer in terms of status, looks, but they never actually care about their heart, their core, their depth. There's so many women who focus on that and prioritize that. Men have to understand that there are amazing, beautiful women who actually will care about them and will want to see their heart sing, will want a deep soul connection. Those women are out there and they're really waiting for that king, but those men are getting lost in women who are wearing 8 pounds of makeup and, serving shots at night.
I'm gonna get a lot of hate for saying this, but she's single simply because she hasn't met a man who's better at being a man than she is. And she's tired of being with men who expect her to do everything while they do the bare minimum. Men today talk about 50-50, ask what she brings to the table, and expect to be chased like they are the prize, while she's the one carrying the weight and holding it all together. After a while, a woman stops feeling like she has a partner and starts feeling like she has another responsibility. And a lot of women would rather stay single and at peace than be in a relationship where she has to lead a grown man.
I'm gonna tell y'all like this, right? This will always show you why they're single. Especially these like in their early 30s to mid 30s. Be crazy. I was hanging out with this chick that I met tonight at the bar. A great conversation, just chopping it up, being cool. I told that I'm a ex-military person. I'm a veteran. Just lost her mind. Like, no. Get away from me. Get away from me right now. Get away from me. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna get away from you. You know what I'm saying? And just lost her mind. Like, we're literally having a good conversation for at least 30 minutes. When I told that I was a military veteran, lost her mind. Stop dealing with that got mental health issues. And I'm standing on that. I'm telling you dudes, you kings, you brothers, leave alone that have mental health issues. If they got mental health issues, they will send you to jail. They will send you to jail. As soon as you peep that the is not mentally stable, leave that alone. Easy money, leave the alone. Simple as that.
You have a lot of these modern women are stunned. They're stunned. They're asking, how is this guy moving on? Doesn't he regret losing me? How are men nowadays moving on so fast? Don't they miss me? Oh, did they ever really care about the relationship? In a lot of situations, they did. But, there's a saying, a man would rather dwell on a rooftop or he would rather dwell in the corner of a house. I'd rather live basically in the heat, in the elements, rather than put up with a lot of stuff that's going on. Number one. Number two, you might be a nice person, but there's some things about you that he's just tired of, and you haven't really changed those, and those really grind his gears. So when he's not chasing you and he's moving on, it might be the best for you and it might be the best for him.
Dating is crap today. I am so sorry for how you're having to date. And I want to say something to guys and to girls. First, to guys. Guys, ask girls out. Go on lots of dates. Treat them amazing, because the end game is a wife that you respect, that is your best friend, that you love, and you're not getting there by sleeping around. So stop it. Treat them amazing. And girls, say yes to guys that you're not attracted to. Just say yes to them. Say yes and see, because the reality is everybody is getting older. Everybody is not going to be attractive one day. What you want is a person of character that is your best friend and that you can do life together as a team. So get less picky about the unimportant things and way more picky about the important things.
What's going on, fellas? Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Leave a comment down below. Let's get back to the video.
More than happy to elaborate. A quick Google search of traits of like a traditional man, which are traditionally masculine traits, will yield strength, assertiveness, courage, all these things. I don't see a single thing in there about emotional intelligence or emotional awareness or communicating emotions, because those aren't traditionally masculine traits or traditional traits of a man, and y'all know that. Respect and monogamy have nothing to do with what I'm talking about. I didn't mention those things. I don't know why y'all are going off into these things. And someone said I'm weaponizing therapy. You know that a man in therapy is not a traditional traditional man. Like, stop doing that. So with what I've said, yes, if you want a man who is not conforming to traditional masculine man standards, i.e. emotional intelligence, i.e. a handful of the other things I mentioned, then you do have to compromise some of the things that you may want in a traditional relationship, because that person is not traditional, and therefore a traditional relationship is unrealistic in that sense.
And I think modern women, this ick thing that they do, that they're talking about, has gone too far. Oh, he did this and I got the ick. And there's some things you just don't like it, right? And even some things that we might talk about on these channels, like, why would she even get the ick about that? That's normal. She don't like it. She don't like it. Cool. But then there's stuff that's downright stupid, downright dumb. Oh, he's 5'8". I just got the ick. You got the ick because he's an average height? Yeah, I'm looking for a man that's at least 5'11", 6 foot. I don't think that's a requirement. Number one. Number two, I don't think that's an ick. Why would you be grossed out? Well, I just can't date. It's just something about a man being 5'8". You're 5'4". I think you'll be, yeah, but in heels, you're 5'4". I think you'll be okay. You're worried about the wrong thing, which a lot of modern women are. Even if you're 5'6", 5'7", you're worried about the wrong thing. Oh, well, he's only an inch taller than me. I get it. I understand it. But some of the stuff, once again, that y'all be talking about doesn't make a lot of sense. It's not necessary. It isn't. It's not. You want a man, but you're ruining your whole chances. Stop doing that.
When God is ready for you to leave a relationship, He doesn't remove the person. He exposes them. And it's up to you to do your part. He will make staying hurt more than leaving. That's when you know.
If a guy stops arguing, that's not submission. That's him checking out. He argued because he cared. He explained because he thought clarity mattered. He kept trying to be understood by someone who only wanted to manipulate him. So then he adapted. He stopped explaining. He stopped correcting. That's called resignation. Men don't leave when they're angry. We leave when our effort robs us of our remaining peace. When he disengages, the decision's already made, but you can keep talking just to hear yourself out loud if you want.
I think also what you see in today's society is how fearful a lot of these shows have made young ladies. A lot of things that they say in society, well, watch out for this, don't go over here, don't do that. And specifically, be afraid of men. Be afraid of men. And so a man is just walking around minding his business. He's not really doing anything. But because society has mentioned to a lot of these young ladies, hey, this is the way that men are. This is what you can expect from a man. There has been no time in history where a man has been nice to a woman. He's always used her for X, Y, and Z. So always be fearful. Always look out for yourself, which, I mean, honestly, you should be looking out for yourself anyway. So I understand it. But the way that people are making it seem is that all men are criminals. And a man is saying, I would never even do that. That has nothing to do with me. The vast majority of men, statistically speaking, are not doing any weird stuff. They're not involved in any criminal behavior. And I guess now, talking about it, weird is subjective, right? But they're not doing anything that's, really honestly and truly criminal, right? Literally. But this is what men are being treated like. And you're wondering why men don't approach. Is because whether subtly or outright, you're treating me like I'm a criminal.
Respect matters more to men than love. Many women say they love their man, but they constantly criticize him. If you belittle him, correct him in public, or question his decisions, he will feel disrespected. A man who feels disrespected slowly shuts down. He becomes distant, quiet, and less motivated in the relationship. Love is important, but respect is what keeps a man emotionally connected. When a man feels respected, he naturally gives more love.
Masculine men love feminine women. They'll do anything for you, or they'll do it easier. The more feminine you are, the more they want to do for you, okay? Just understand that. I've noticed, now I'm just going to tell you what I've noticed. I've noticed that when I wear dresses, when I wear pink makeup, I get treated better by men. They want to do so much more for me. They're more attentive. And I'm not talking about like a boyfriend or anything. I'm just talking about men out there just sitting next to me at the bar or the restaurant or the waiter, or just a random man opening the door for me, or just, anyone in my presence that's male. Even women react differently to you when you are more feminine looking. Okay? They just treat you like you're softer. They want to do more things for you. So, if you want to experience that, wear more feminine colors, lighter colors. It doesn't have to be pink. Just lighter colors, nudes, whites, creams. But pink does bring out the masculinity in men, for sure. So,
here's what a lot of men are realizing. You're not really dating her alone, right? These modern women, and I don't mind it so much as you keep it respectful, but their group chat acts as a board of approval. Like they act as if, oh, you're not just dating me, you're dating my friends, and I have 2 best friends, I have my sister, and whoever else is in the group chat. People that you've never even met, people that you don't even know. They have their own trauma, they have their own issues. A man might send a good morning text at 9 a.m. She'll go over here, screenshot it, send it to the thread, and by noon, they sitting up here talking about, well, I got an opinion on it, this, and all this other not, and it don't have nothing to do with what happened. Oh, well, my man, if I had a man, you don't have a man, exactly, but he would have sent it at 8:30. My man would have sent it at 4. And there's a whole bunch of stuff going on that should not be going on. You're getting opinions from people that don't even know how to be in a relationship. They don't, let alone a successful one, let alone even seen one, that's been successful, let alone even.
Understanding this is such a helpful way to know how to navigate your relationship, because we could come in and go, oh honey, I have something I need to tell you this thing, and so and I just go ahead and do it, and he might give you this look like, what are you doing right now? There's a look of annoyance, and then I might take that as why are you being so rude to me? You don't like me, you find me annoying. I just want to tell you something. What's wrong?
Right. But to him, it's and we do this. Sorry to interrupt you.
No, go.
But we interact with men as if what they're doing isn't important, and that what we have to say is more important than anything they're doing, especially if you're just watching stupid golf on television.
Oh my God.
So we just interrupt because you're doing nothing. And honestly, besides what you shared, waiting for the well, right? Which for people new to it, he says, only ask questions that are worth waiting for the answer.
Being in a relationship with a man who won't help you financially is a waste of time. It's crazy to me that some men expect to be with a woman without providing financial support. It's not about a woman's inability to meet her basic needs or be financially independent. However, if you're a man entering her life and not helping by paying bills while in a serious relationship, you are simply not doing your part and you don't deserve her. I don't care how independent she is. She wants a man who can protect, provide, and lead. Real men step up and take care of business in the home. Period.
And what modern women keep on asking for is something that over and over again we see. They're just not willing to give. Just not willing to give it. Right? We talk about chivalry, but really all chivalry is just a man being nice. That's really all it is. It's just me being nice, me being respectful. So take that mindset, and now you say, if he's giving me this type of respect, maybe he would want that type of respect back. But to a modern woman, it don't equate like that. To a modern woman, especially now, back in the day when you had women that would think about their husband, who would cook, who would clean, they would say, thank you for doing so much for me. Your plate's on the table. And when it gets a little bit older, or gets a bit, technology gets a little bit better, plates in the oven, plates in the microwave. If you're not coming home from work for a long, long time, plates in the fridge. It's already wrapped. You can just unwrap it, put it in the microwave, and heat it up. Depends on what time you come home from work. If you come home, and some women, and I know modern women gonna lose their stuff when they hear it, some women would be asleep. When a man walk in the door, he didn't even have to wake him up. They would be up with that thing, and they would get his schedule down, and then they would be up and have his food ready to go. Weird concept. But they did it because, he showed respect to me. He shows love to me. He treats me right. Maybe I ought to do it for him. And so if a man is going to continue to be chivalrous, right, and then stay in your vicinity, then you got to start being respectful back. That's what you don't know. Well, where are all the chivalrous men at? They've moved away from you. They might still be over in this other part of the world, being chivalrous and generous to somebody that's appreciative. But you're not, so I don't ever go around you, so you never experience it.
Women are attracted, generally speaking, the research shows, to men based on 3 reasons. The third is kindness. They don't want someone who's going to be a good person. They're impressed by men who are good to their parents and kind and go out of their way to help people when there's no reciprocal expectation. The second is intelligence, because the smarter you are, the more likely you are to make good decisions and protect your family's offspring. And by the way, the fastest way to communicate intelligence is humor. I've always said if you can make a woman laugh, you can kiss her.
Wow.
And then the most important thing, though, to women, and people don't like to admit this, is the man's ability to signal future resources. It's not even he has to be rich now, but he has to have his act together such that he looks like he will be a decent provider. And the number of people, the number of men we're producing that qualify in this category is shrinking.
There's like this huge problem that I've been noticing in the dating world. The good, respectful men, the men with boundaries, will not approach women because they're trying to respect their boundaries. And it is true that biologically speaking, women are far more attuned to subtleties, like body language subtleties, than men. So a lot of times, women will actually be giving off clues and cues that they want to be approached, but it's more of like they're trying to give off a vibe or something, and the man has no idea. What ends up happening is that it's the men with no boundaries, or that don't respect boundaries, or the narcissists or the creeps, that end up approaching the woman, and then the women in my life complain that it's only the creeps that approach them, when it's really we women need to be giving off way more intense.
And I think what a lot of modern women don't really want to admit, and like I said, you go get your education, fantastic. But a lot of these ladies really are enrolling in graduate programs, master's degrees and stuff like that, as a cover for why they're still single. They're approaching 35, right? You're getting your second master's in organizational psychology or something like that. You're telling everybody you're focused on growth, but everybody around you really knows you just throwing yourself into other things is really what it is. I want a baby, I want this, I want that. Like I said, education is great, but a lot of these modern women are throwing themselves into other situations to avoid uncomfortable truths, uncomfortable situations and conversations about their dating life. Well, I want a baby, I want a family. You're just procrastinating at that point in time. You go to therapy, but that's not a part of you that you really want to confront. Sometimes that therapist is actually doing their job in trying to bring these things to the forefront and pull it out of you. But they can only go so deep, so far. It depends on what their client wants to do, right? So like I said, a lot of these modern women are doing things like enrolling in a master's degree, or going and getting a PhD, or going and climbing the corporate ladder. Fantastic. Get your education, get your money. But y'all are short term. The thinking is short term. And you actually want a companion. You say, well, I can't get a companion. My companion might as well go do X, Y, and Z. Right. But at some point in time, you're going to have to confront, why am I unapproachable? Why am I still single?
If you want incredible physical intimacy in your marriage, it's got to start outside of the bedroom, because it's not just about what happens when the lights go off. It is about how connected you are the rest of the time. When you actually feel close emotionally, everything else gets better. It's easier to laugh, to flirt, to let your guard down, and to want each other again. That kind of connection comes from more than just touch. It's built in the small, everyday moments. Talking, joking around, learning each other again. That's what builds trust, safety, and that spark that keeps things alive. When you feel emotionally close, the physical part doesn't feel forced. It's passionate, it's effortless, it's real. So you want deeper connection and stronger desire. Don't start in the bedroom. Start with the way you love each other with your clothes on.
This is why so many marriages fail and will continue to fail, because people only marry for love. Guys' hobbies don't need to benefit you. Absolutely. Your hobbies don't need to benefit me whatsoever. I pissed off a lot of men, like I always do, by saying that women should pick men whose hobbies benefit them. Because a lot of women will end up with men whose hobbies destruct their lives. And a lot of times, these hobbies are actually addictions, like gambling, certain media, like video games or porn. A lot of times, men's hobbies, his way he decompresses after work, is damaging to your family and your relationship. It's damaging to the way that you view him. And a lot of times his hobby is something he can't pause, something he can't walk away from, something he has to leave you to go do. And I'm not saying video games is always a bad hobby, because some women love video games. It's not about the hobby, it's about you. What benefits you? When you're marrying somebody, that's long term. You need to think longevity wise, not today. Today it's so cute that he sits on the couch and he plays his little video games and you put your little feet on his lap. But in 10 years, when you have 3 kids running around the house, it's not so cute. When he sleeps through the baby crying every single night because he is up until 4 a.m. playing video games, it's not so cute. Men will always, because they've always felt entitled to women, always pick a woman who benefits them in every single way. And very often, because of the way we are socialized, our hobbies as women tend to benefit men. Now, I'm not saying this is your hobby, but if your hobby is cooking, if your hobby is organizing, if your hobby is baking, if your hobby is throwing dinner parties, a lot of women's hobbies tend to benefit men. This doesn't mean that hobbies that are just for you don't benefit other people too. You can certainly pick a hobby that is just for yourself, but it also benefits him. You get the picture. There is really not a lot of hobbies that women can do that just do not ever benefit men. And men will always pick a woman who benefits them. And it's time that women start thinking that way too. Pick the man who benefits you.
I think a lot of these modern women are under the impression that a man has to whip you into shape. A man is going to have to look at your decisions and your choices and the things that you've done and accept you for who you are. And any residual issues that you're having, he needs to be man enough to fix them. Like if you have children, you're a single mom, I want a man to come in and really teach my kids how to be a man or to be that father figure, right? I don't need you to come in and, be their father, But, you know, if you're going to be with me, then I would expect you to kind of, you know, just as an example, I would expect you to be a positive role model in their life of what a man should act like, what a father or a stepfather should act like. Fantastic. That's great. But the problem is these kids don't have any manners. They don't have no accountability. You're not teaching them any accountability, nothing. And so a man has to come in and try to, with no help from you, fix everything that these kids are going through. Number one. Number two, he got to fix you. Because you are disciplined. You got issues. So he got to fix you, your mistakes, the stuff that you've been going through, and he got to try to whip the kids into shape. He got to go through and fix all that. And so men today are like, that's a lot of trouble. She's beautiful, but that's a lot of issues. That's a lot of stuff to fix. I don't know if that's something that I would want to be involved in.
DARVO is a common manipulation strategy used by psychological abusers. It stands for deny, attack, and reverse victim and offender. So basically they'll deny their emotions to you and then will attack you for even confronting them about it, which will then allow them to play the victim while they make you feel like the offender. For example, you might say, I feel really neglected by you. And they'll respond with, do you know how much I've done for you? How much I've sacrificed for you? I can't believe how ungrateful you are. I'm sorry. I can't be around this right now. Please leave. I need to protect myself from these attacks on my character. It's such a slick way to gaslight someone because it all of a sudden reverses the reality of victim and offender. The way people with privilege and power turn to DARVO tactics when someone with less power tries to call them out can be super triggering to observe if you have a history of abuse and devastating to experience if it's happening to you. I've spent years working with clients trying to undo the harm. So if you think this is happening to you, please ask your friends for reality checks or find a therapist at therapyden.com.
Women have a really unhealthy relationship with right now. When women stopped holding themselves to a standard, so did men. They ask me all the time, where have all the good men gone? Ironically, good men say the same thing. Where have all the good women gone? Women have been held on such a high standard by all healthy civilizations since the dawn of time. Women would redeem us. Women were something that we were willing to fight for, to protect. They brought this virtue and they brought this light and this goodness and this spirituality into the lives of men so that we would elevate them to something higher than ourselves. When women traded that for the mess of pottage that's feminism, they traded the interest of men. They were now, for lack of a better analogy, a bathroom stall that every trucker can go into and just scratch his name on the side of the wall. There's no longer that virtue to it. There's no longer that beauty that made women what they were, that gave men pause, where we'd stop and look at them and be like, I'm going to change my life for that person. When women traded that divine birthright for this feminist, boy, and that's what empowers you. When they traded that, they also traded the sacred nature with which men treated them. And if you want to see how you measure up as a man, go to the link in my bio and take the Doughboy assessment today.
Good-hearted people do not leave quickly. That's why people underestimate them. Because when you love deeply, you give chances. You try to understand people. You try to see the good in them. You stay patient longer than most, even when you're hurting. And honestly, that's dangerous sometimes. Because good people often stay past the point where they should have left. They keep hoping things improve, keep believing words over patterns, keep giving grace to people who keep taking advantage of it. And little by little, they start abandoning themselves, trying to save the relationship. That's why people get shocked when the good person finally leaves, because they mistook patience for weakness. They thought forgiveness meant unlimited access. They thought loyalty meant you would tolerate anything forever. But every good person has a limit. Every patient heart gets tired. And once someone reaches the point where they emotionally detach, it's usually after they gave everything they had. That's why they rarely come back, because leaving was not impulsive. It was built from accumulated disappointment. So if you have a good person in your life, value them while they're still trying, because one day the person who kept understanding you, forgiving you, fighting for you, will finally realize they deserve the same effort too. And once that realization fully hits, you'll never experience that version of them again.
One thing about me is that I will never beg, and it's not a pride thing. It's not that I don't think I need to show myself to people, or that I have to show up and prove differently. I think that it's because I don't have to do that with people that are close to me, that choose me, that want me. Why would I have to beg to stay in something or stay with someone or be in something that desires me too. And I think we get into this habit of thinking that if we beg or if we plead or if we do more, that they're going to appreciate more. But now you're just performing. You're keeping up a show, an act. You're in the circus at this point. You are the clown, because what you have to do is entertain for them to stay. If they are questioning whether they want to be there, whether they want to remain in this place, that's your answer. People who are sure about you won't question things about you. And that doesn't mean that doesn't come with different discrepancies and things they have to heal and fix and all these things. Maybe it's the wrong season and the wrong time, but there is a clarity when you don't have to entertain. You don't have to beg for someone to be where they want to be.
So this may not be the most popular thing to say, but I view marriage as a business, and I think it's the most important business decision you'll ever make in your life. Because at the end of the day, what is marriage? It is a merger. It is two people coming together and combining their assets, their finances, their credit scores, their reputations, their networks, their families, all under one legally binding contract and covenant. And I think smart people understand this because they recognize what is at stake if they marry the wrong person. Because if you're marrying purely for love and romance and eventually that fades, well, now you're still contractually tied to this person in every other practical sense. And by the way, that's not to minimize the role or importance of love in a marriage. I think it's very important that you have that foundation. But if we're keeping it real, you can have a marriage without love. You can't have a marriage without a contract. And so I think if you're dating with the intention of getting married, you should be screening people almost the same way you would screen a co-founder for a startup. Ask yourself, do we have the same values? Do we share the same vision? Are we lifestyle compatible? And ultimately, can we create a legacy together? Because if you marry the right person, you can build an incredible empire. But if you marry the wrong one, they can destroy your finances, your peace, and your future. And by the way, I'm not suggesting that marriage is a literal business in a for-profit sense, but it can be a great financial cheat code, wealth multiplier, and strategic partnership for a lot of people.
So cute! Can we normalize videos like this? Anytime I see something like this on my feed, it puts a big smile on my face. A lot of men have zero time for their hobbies or minimal time. And you see a lot of wives discouraging him or criticizing every hobby that he has. But he gets to the point where he can't even enjoy his hobby anymore because he knows it's going to cause problems in his relationship and it just becomes not worth it anymore.
I'd say if you were with a woman and you lost her and you're now lonely and she's going to be moving on and you're absolutely utterly heartbroken and you're destroyed inside, I understand how difficult that is. But now you have genuine sadness inside of you, which is unlimited motivation for you to become a beast, become an animal. And by the time you're finished becoming an animal, you won't care anymore. There will be a day where she regrets the decision she made. There will be a day where she understands that she up and her life would be better if she kept me. And I'm going to prove it to her.
I think what modern women don't really want to admit is that they've been on Hinge for 2 years, swiping left. If a guy is holding a fish or wearing a certain shirt, sunglasses as their first pick, and that sort of stuff, then you want to post rants about how the algorithm is broken, Hinge is taking all my money, all of the good men are hid behind the paywall, and all that other stuff. Actually, if you would, I'm not saying that you have to pick the guy that you don't want to pick. But y'all are passing on men because he was holding a fish in his hand. He was holding a fish in his hand. Oh, well, he likes to fish too much. Isn't there some things that you like to do too much? Some of you ladies like makeup too much. And you'll spend hours doing that. But you want that man to leave you alone. Some of y'all are involved in gossip too much. Y'all will spend hours, days on end gossiping. Y'all will find new TV shows, new YouTube videos and channels that talk about nothing but gossip. That's all you want to hear about. And then you come home trying to talk that to him while he's trying to relax and play a game. You tell him about drama and stuff like that. And I know a man listen to you because you just go, oh, wow, that's crazy. But he'll listen to that and try to engage with you. But if a man wants to do something, oh, I really don't want to do that. So a lot of times it's the man having to take on what the woman wants to do, what a model, like for these ladies, at least what these ladies want to do, totally fully embrace it, or you don't embrace me, you don't really love me. And when a man says, okay, these are the things that I like to do, it's childish. That's childish. And you need to stop it immediately. Shaming men for doing the things that men like to do, instead of trying to sit down there and understand why he likes to do it, and maybe every so often getting involved in it. But if you don't like it, you don't have to do it. If the man's playing the game, go get some coffee, go watch your favorite TV show. That's the time alone that you can go spend with a girlfriend. Oh, we had a girls' night out. You know, we just went down there and we just got drinks and we just sat at the bar for a little while, and you know, after that we just came home. You know, I'll talk to my man for the rest of the night and went to bed. That could be the time that you're doing that. Or you go over her house and y'all have like a girls' night where y'all watch reruns of the 90-day Love Island stuff, or whatever you guys like to watch. Do that. But y'all be so far in a man's bit. Y'all be so far trying to stop him from doing the stuff that he likes to do, instead of getting involved and saying, okay, you know, let me come into his world. Most of the time it's, well, he got to come into mine. But if I see something I don't like and he gonna want me to get involved in that, swipe. Okay. In 10 years, you'll be like, oh, well, where are the good men at? You just kept on swiping on them.